Nexpo, I see you.
The goal of this video is to make you aware of the potential for differential pressure situations. The key is to recognize them beforehand and make sure you are prepared to deal with them. Because when it's gotcha, it's gotcha.
Again, you find yourself in the deep. Turn this off? Or just lower it?
Back in February, we discussed the unquantifiable horrors of the ocean. Earth's greatest enigma. An entire biosphere not made for us. One of humanity's greatest mysteries has always been exploring the far reaches of the deep sea. And, in a way, much of what's in it is completely alien to us. The peculiar thing about the ocean is that it makes up the vast majority of the planet we live on, yet stands so painstakingly inaccessible to humanity. The potential for death, freak accidents, and disappearances are so exponentially high, all spawned entirely by the mere nature of the ocean's environmental medium.
Hell nah, not going into the ocean.
Nope.
In February of 2022, 5 divers are commissioned by a fuel trading company named BWARE to perform maintenance on an oil pipeline. Located at Punta Pier on the western coast of Trinidad and Tobago, the 30-inch wide pipe stretches from an oil riser named Berth 5, 60 feet vertically down into the ocean, 1,200 feet away from it, and 50 feet back up to the open sea under another oil riser named Berth 6. It was meant to allow ships to transport their reserves to BWARE's facilities on land for processing. However, by this point, this particular pipeline was sealed off and hadn't been used since mid-2018. That day, the 5 men on the job were Faisal Kurban, Kazim Ali Jr., Rishi Nagasar,
Who's this guy? This guy.
Huh?
Yusuf Henry, and Christopher Budrum. And
Damn,
they
that guy's got a belly.
were tasked with heading into an underwater, air-filled habitat at Berth 6, removing a steel cover from the pipe, removing an inflatable plug from inside of it, and installing a connector from the exposed pipe up to the main platform at the Berth 6 riser. At first, everything seemed to be going to plan. The crew makes their way inside the air-filled chamber and remove their scuba gear so they can effectively perform their work. While doing so, however, they notice that the inflatable plug sealing the pipe off isn't coming loose. No matter what they try, it appears to be stuck in place. And so, Kazim volunteers to head out to grab a tool to help with dislodging it. Upon heading back down to Berth 6's chamber, Kazim hands the tool off to one of his coworkers who takes another crack at dislodging it. But what they're unaware of is that by doing this, they're unknowingly opening the door to a gargantuan difference in pressure and would very soon find themselves in a dire predicament.
Sound of their last moments.
Right here, in but a fraction of a second, all 5 men and their equipment are sucked into the pipe, 50 feet down and over 120 feet horizontally through it. And without even a second to process what just happened, they are effectively trapped in a pitch black cell underwater.
Oh. How does that happen?
Immediately, they scream for help. They have no idea what the hell just happened, but they're
Bro, to die at your own job, it like has to suck. Like, oh, Chad, there was this guy at one of these apartment complexes. He was a janitor, and my brother used to live at this place. But dude, he slipped and he hit his head, knocked him out on a water fountain, cleaning the water fountain, and drowned in the water fountain and died. To die at some shitty ass job that you don't want to be at. Oh man, that has to just blow, bro.
excruciating pain, and they gotta get out of there. In the next few moments, they collect their thoughts and orient themselves inside the pipe. They explain to each other their injuries, who's behind who, and try to deduce which side of the pipe they're even facing. With hope quickly fading, Chris begins motivating his crew to try their hardest to get out of there, out of that hell they're stuck in. And so, he proposes a plan to link hands with ankles and to inch their way out. It was a 50-50 shot that they'd be heading in the right direction, but at this point, it was one they were willing to take. With no light source, no breathing equipment, no sense of direction, they begin to shuffle their way forward. In the beginning, it seems to be working. However, they quickly realize that sections of this pipe head down to a lower depth and have collected pools of water and oil. Were they to continue their plan, they'd be making their way through fully submerged sections of pipe, a proposition that, with no knowledge of how long it would go on for, was undoubtedly horrifying. With this revelation, Kazim, Rishi, and Yusuf decide to stay back. It's a risk that they just can't stomach, and so Chris reassures them that he'll return with help, and continues onward, with Faisal by his side.
W, Chris, and Faisal. They push forward, bro. Real quick, join the Discord, discord.gg/BWARE. It's in the description.
In the following moments, Chris and Faisal encounter 2 scuba tanks lying in an air pocket. They equip them and make their way through fully submerged, extended portions of pipe. For a while, they were making steady progress. However, on their journey, Faisal had come to an inconvenient revelation. He is excruciatingly exhausted and informs Chris that he simply can't continue. Chris proceeds. Onward and onward, not even sure if he's heading back to the correct opening. Nevertheless, he holds out hope as critical minutes blur by. Until he finally encounters the pipe's bend.
Oh.
He looks up, and it's open. In complete disbelief, he begins to bang on the pipe, screaming and pleading for anyone to hear him. And by a complete miracle, outside its opening are 2 rescue divers who open it up, drop a chain down to him, and ultimately save his life.
Wow.
But there's just one problem. Four men are still down there, still alive, and still need help. To his dismay, Chris is told that there's nothing that can be done about them. It's apparently too dangerous to send someone in there to get them, and essentially,
What?
all hope for their rescue is lost.
What?
In utter disbelief at what he's hearing, Chris even tries to head back in there himself, however, is ultimately prevented from doing so.
Damn, bro. Are you fucking... That is fucked up.
For 3 excruciating days, the remaining 4 divers are trapped in that pipe, begging and pleading for anyone to help them. Little did they know, though, that nobody was ever coming.
From...
Help was never on the way, and the men were, effectively, left to die.
Wow. L company, you're getting sued. I'm becoming CEO. Fuck those people. Okay, we should order some Chipotle. Damn.
As of writing, there's an ongoing legal battle between Peria, the Coast Guard, the contract company LMCS Limited that assigned them to the job, and the victims' families. Each of the accused passing off blame and responsibility for their inaction to a different party. No matter what ends up happening, though, I can only hope that the victims' families are given justice, as according to every report available, it seems that little to no effort was made by the companies or Coast Guard to save them.
They just weren't left to fucking die, bro.
At all.
So fucking stupid.
The incident that occurred on that otherwise ordinary day is one of the most haunting freak accidents one could ever find themselves in. What began as an ordinary job had, out of nowhere, morphed into 3 days of absolute hell. I cannot even begin to fathom the feeling of being stuck in the dark, inside of a claustrophobic chamber 60 feet below sea level, and even more so, bearing the apprehensive hope they all held out for help that never came.
Jay, if you're still in here, what would you do in that situation, bro? I don't know, bro. I don't fucking... Oh, that would fucking blow.